So for Caliente Iceberg and also 8082 shoots, I'm just having fun with friends and setting the foundation for me going out the deep end. I try to capture this with the guest verses. These are homies that I studied abroad with in Japan and the homies in Hawaii. And they're definitely in their element with these types of songs. And lyrically on my end, these songs are less about navigating representation and it's more about hedonism. There's a shift happening. There's a cockiness to it, a bit of unraveling and losing my way. And continuing the theme of descent, sonically, Mandate of Heaven was an early morning song. Champagne Keith was more of a Los Angeles golden hour. Caliente Iceberg is sonically afternoon in Hawaii. 8082 shoots is when we start to get into evening. You know, I cleaned up like Kondo, no joy dogs first, she excommunicado. So I was watching a lot of Tidying Up with Marie Kondo and John Wick when I was writing this song. Getting head like a left hook, autobiography finna be the best book. So the bars are pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to bring attention to the ad-lib I have for after autobiography, which is summer reading. I put a lot of time and thought into my ad-libs, so that was one of my favorites. So shh. Quiet on the set. If you yell Doc Ellis with the heaters on deck. If you don't know who Doc Ellis is, you should look him up. He was a baseball pitcher and an outspoken activist known mostly for throwing a no-hitter on LSD, which is insane. There's this other story where he thought his team was being too fearful of the other team. So leading up to the game during practice, he kept on telling his teammates, I'm gonna hit all their batters. I'm gonna fucking hit all their batters. And no one took him seriously because like, who the fuck does that? But he was about it. So when the game started, he started beating batters left and right. And by the time he beat the fourth batter in a row, the manager's like, oh shit, he's actually trying to hit everybody on the other team. So they quickly took him out. That guy's inspiration, someone who I try to be like rap-wise. I've been popping a point that I don't need a job, but damn, all you whack rappers, you should really stop. I'm giving out financial advice, but hey, at the end of the day, if you love what you're doing and no one's financially depending on you, do you, you know? So Caliente Iceberg is named after two homies. There's Jonathan Berg and Vicente Losada. So one story with Jonathan Berg was 4th of July. We got high, went hiking in the mountains. On the drive home, when we're reaching my place, there were like 6 dudes just beating up on one person. So Berg immediately springs to the action and drives his truck straight towards them. Everyone disperses and he brakes. And then we open the door and they're like, get in. The guy's running and everyone was chasing after him, but he's able to get into the car, get the door shut and drive away. Like the dude was like, very shaken up, very like bloodied. And it was like a pretty quiet car ride, and I ended up dropping him in a bus stop pretty far away and went our separate ways. And I went back home and went on Facebook and talked about how Berg was a true patriot, He was a real 4th of July American hero that day. So Vicente, a story about him was, I think in college, he was dating someone who knew Michelle Obama's nephew or something like that. So he was telling me, this hand is connected to Michelle Obama by the 3rd degree. We have so much political power right now. And he touched me on the shoulder and said, now Earl, you're connected to Michelle Obama by the 4th degree. We can start a political dynasty. So we're planning it out. He's like, all right, we could just start switching off terms. But obviously I'd have to be the first governor because I'm connected by the 3rd degree and you're 4th degree. And you're kind of like my Pokemon, And the goal is for you to evolve from Earl to Governor Earl. One of the rappers, Nitro, now Sheesh God, I studied abroad with him in Japan. I have a lot of dope memories with him. So how he ended up in Japan was he actually was part of the Marines. And after he was done with his service, he decided to study at a Japanese college. And he was telling me that when he was trying to figure out what to do with his life, he didn't want to join the Air Force because he was afraid of heights. He didn't want to join the, Navy because he was afraid of water. So he joined the Marines. And a week in, he found out they did both. air and water. Also, for the longest time, none of us in the dorm knew Nitro's real name because he took down his name. He had a chain that said Nitro. He was signing all his school assignments as Nitro. And yeah, he just went by Nitro. And when I eventually found his real name, I was like, yo, why don't you go by Quincy? And he said, do you know Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne or Lil Wayne is Dwayne Carter? And I'm like, that's a good point. That was the breakdown to Caliente Iceberg. Hope you enjoyed. Blast it, run up the streams, and give me some pennies, y'all. Peace.